Scott Lee Kimall. Scott Lee Kimall is a convicted serial killer from Boulder County, Colorado, United States. He is serving a 70-year sentence after pleading guilty in 2009 to the murders of Casey McLeod, 19, Jennifer Markham, 25, Leanne Emery, 24, and his uncle, Terry Kimble, 60. All of these 4 victims died between January 2003 and August 2004. Markham remains missing and is presumed dead, while the other 3 bodies were recovered in remote Colorado and Utah locations. A fraudster released from prison to become an FBI informant, Kimble has claimed multiple other killings but has not been linked to any other crimes. In September 2010, it was reported that the FBI was investigating Kimble as a possible suspect in the murder and mutilation of a woman found in Westminster, Colorado, in October 2004. At the time, Kimble lived in the area and was acting as an FBI informant. In December 2010, it was reported that Kimble has stated that he is being investigated as a potential suspect in the West Mesa murders in New Mexico. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future interesting videos. Kimble bragged of committing dozens of murders. Garnett said Kimble, 43, has bragged to others that he has committed dozens of murders, but investigators were only able to make a case in the disappearances of Casey McLeod, 19, of Westminster, Jennifer Markham, 25, of Aurora, Leanne Emery, 24, of Centennial, and Kimble's 60-year-old uncle Terry. Kimble killed the 4 between January 2003 and August 2004, according to law enforcement authorities, after being released from prison by the FBI to become an informant for the agency. 3 of his victims' remains have been found in remote areas of Colorado and Utah. Markham's body has never been found. Katharina Booth, one of the 2 chief deputy DAs who prosecuted Kimble in a 2005 Lafayette check fraud case that proved instrumental to his eventual guilty plea to murder Thursday, said, "There's a good chance Kimble left more victims in his wake." Booth said, "It's possible there are victims who have never come to the attention of law enforcement because Kimble didn't target the powerful and well-connected, but rather those who lived closer to the margins of society." But she cautioned that Kimble is, at his core, a con man and a huckster who led a life filled with deceit and shady business deals. She said his claims of additional killings may be as fanciful as the promises he made to those who placed their trust in him. While none of the homicides was believed to have been committed in Boulder County, the case was prosecuted here partly because of Kimble's criminal history in Lafayette and the fact that the Boulder County District Attorney's Office was already building a file on him. Kimble was born in Boulder and grew up in Lafayette, leaving Colorado in his high school years to follow his father up to Montana after his parents' divorce. He lived in various western states through much of his early adulthood, but moved back to Colorado to live with his mother after getting released from prison by the FBI in 2002. His mother ran an insurance office on South Public Road in Lafayette. By late 2005, police say, Kimble was pulling a check fraud scam involving an optometrist who shared office space with his mother. Police said he managed to siphon off more than $50,000 from the eye specialist's money market account before getting caught. During that period, he also lived on Huron Street in Broomfield, in a house where police now believe he likely killed his uncle. Robert McLeod, father of victim Casey McLeod, said there is a lot of time during which police and investigators have no trace of Kimble's whereabouts. His gut feeling is that Kimble's victim list is longer than anyone now knows. Scott has a lot of unaccounted for time in the last 10 to 15 years when they don't know where he was, McLeod said Friday. 2 fathers prod the cops into action. Meanwhile, according to ABC News, the fathers of Jennifer Markham and Casey McLeod began their own inquiries into their daughters' disappearances due to what had seemed to them to be a lack of interest by law enforcement in the missing persons cases. Jennifer worked as a stripper and had ties to a known drug dealer. Casey had a history of drug problems and had left home a number of times after she had turned 18. Bob Markham, Jennifer's father, and Rob McLeod, Casey's dad, took matters into their own hands to move their daughters' cases along. Bob Markham began posting billboards with Jennifer's photo that asked for information about the missing young woman and appeared on television news programs to further publicize her mysterious disappearance. While Markham appealed for information, it was Casey McLeod's best friend, Tabitha Morton, who had made a connection between Scott Kimble and Casey. Morton called Rob McLeod in 2005 and told him that Kimble went missing when Casey did. Kimble by that time was married to Casey's mother, Lori McLeod, which is how Morton had come to know about him. A short time later, the McLeods and the Markhams met to compare information about Kimble and his relationship to their daughters. Lori McLeod told Bob Markham everything she knew about Kimble and what he had said about Jennifer, and the two families drove together to a number of locations that they believed to be connected with their daughters' disappearances. Hoping for a clue that could shed some light on what had happened, they nonetheless came up empty-handed. However, during one of their discussions, the two families realized that a third person connected to Kimble had gone missing, Terry Kimble, Scott Kimble's uncle. Lori McLeod related how Terry had moved in with her and Scott, but that Uncle Terry had inexplicably left on September 1st, 2004, never to be seen again. When Lori had asked Scott where Terry had gone, Kimble told her that Terry had won the lottery and had taken his girlfriend to Mexico. After they had pieced their information together and had a clear picture that 3 people with a connection to Scott Kimble had disappeared without a trace, Rob McLeod and Bob Markham went to the FBI. After a bit of prodding, they eventually convinced the FBI to take their information and allegations seriously. A former cellmate talks to the FBI. During an interview with Grusing on November 18, 2006, Bob Markham related that he and Jennifer's mother, Mary Willis, had met with Scott Kimble in August 2005. During that meeting, Kimble had said that he knew precisely where Jennifer's body was buried, and that he could take them to the location in the mountains because he wanted her to have a good Christian burial. Markham and Willis, however, did not trust Kimble and declined his offer. "I figured he was a killer and I wasn't going anywhere with him," Markham told ABC News. "I figured I'd end up dead after the things that he said." Grusing met with Markham and Willis a number of times during the course of the investigation and learned that Kimble had told Jennifer's parents that their daughter's body was buried near Rifle, Colorado. On January 25, 2007, Grusing and LPD Detective Gary Thatcher traveled to the Missoula County Detention Facility in Missoula, Montana, where they interviewed one of Kimble's former cellmates. According to the former cellmate, Kimble had asked him if he thought that fake breasts could be traced. The cellmate replied that the name of the manufacturer and the serial number were located inside the implants to allow tracing in the event of liability lawsuits. During that conversation, Kimble had reportedly said, "I know a guy that will pay you to cut implants out of a dead body." When the cellmate asked Kimble why anyone would be concerned about implants when a body would have fingerprints, footprints, teeth, and a skull, Kimble responded, "You cut off the feet, head, and hands, and there's no trace of it." Kimble also told the cellmate that the woman in question was buried in the mountains. He apparently had not mentioned which state she was buried in, and while it was not known whether he had dismembered Jennifer Markham's body when he disposed of it, the implication was that the breast implants and IUD had become a concern to him. Although it was not known how Kimble had learned of Jennifer's breast implants and IUD, it was possible that he had learned of them during his dealings with her former boyfriend, Steve Ennis. At one point, however, Kimble related information implicating another man in Jennifer's death and said that it had been the killer who had been willing to pay Kimble to remove her breast implants and IUD. If you enjoyed from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content. Thanks for watching.